I guess the other thing is time. When we look at a CISO's schedule or their list of tasks, it's almost an impossible list. And we know that CISOs typically are, they're just inundated with tasks, and they've got a lot of stuff that they need to translate to the business or translate back from the business to make sense of. So it's an absolutely critical role. How do you think a CISO could kind of make more use of his time and be more efficient with the tasks at hand? Do you have any kind of advice that you could give there?
Yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, it really depends on the organization. The real question is it one man show, or do they have like a team under the CISO's responsibility? We work with, by the way, both of them, and even big security teams. So when he has a team, it's much more easy, right? He always can give an opportunity to one of his security engineers to do evaluation, which is amazing, I think, for security engineer to get this opportunity. He can do his scale, he can work with more vendors, check them in much more parallel way, and even, by the way, sometimes get some value and show some progress for the security maturity of his organization in front of the management. We call it ROI. Because if I will give them during the POC one scan and I show them results and help them to mitigate something, and it happened a lot. In average, we succeed on the first scan to reduce in 20% the risk of the environment of the customer, because we give them with the correct infrastructure as a code and the mitigations required. So in the end of the day, it will be much more easier for CISO to show it to the management, and he can get feedback from his team to do something unusual, right? Because I guess they have the typical classical tasks they have to do every day for the organization, but get an opportunity to give an approval from your CISO to do evaluation to some vendor is amazing. CISOs that are working by themselves, it's much more complicated. I'm a big believer on full support. A lot of times CISOs contact me and ask me, do you have some AppSec, maybe someone that you can introduce me to? So I always try to use my ecosystem. But yeah, it's more complicated because you have to help him, or he have to help me as a vendor to introduce to the DevOps. A lot of time, the responsibility for the POC will be in front of the DevOps. So it's more complicated situation. But from our side, two main points. We always trying that if the CISO is interested in the follow-up call, we asking from the DevOps to join also, so they will feel be part of this assessment of this POC, not just like someone calls in one day, hey, listen, I need this role, please create it for me, right? Maybe they have more feedback and input that they can give us. And second point that because we gave a holistic solution is the replacement concept, that I prefer to give them as more capabilities that can cover more problems in his environment as one holistic solution, right? I mean, if I give you CV scan and over-permissive and misconfigurations, includes credentials, again, it will be a huge amount of alerts. But if I use my contextual approach and connect between those and reduce it only to the most critical that should be done and take care of, it can help him better to manage his stack. And of course, open source. I really believe that part of the capabilities that CISO can do, first of all, we also do it, we publish open source, but not only us, a lot of companies do it. He should check them. Sometimes open source can help them do some process more automated and even define some tasks that we understand. Those tasks should be taken care by the organization and not only me as a CISO. So let's say I don't know, someone did a penetration testing. It's my third penetration testing, and the last 3 penetration testing, we saw that we have problem of clear text credentials. And I understand after I sat with the last consulting team that do the job, that in the code review, they discovered a lot of like this. So we understand that we need to do some organization-based security plan to mitigate all the clear text credentials in the environment. So let's say we need Vault, or I don't know, any kind of solutions that can take care of this problem. Maybe we should do some hackathon together with all the team and close some bootcamp, couple of days in all the organization working together in order to do it in efficient way. That's how I see it.
Oh, cool. So you're talking. I think, if I understand you correctly, you're talking about not only delegating these tasks out, but also helping the wider team to understand the actual goals, and then
Yes,
kind of collaborating together to kind of bring that as a common goal, as a common vision for the wider team. I think that's
exactly.
really cool. Do you have any kind of so outside of that, the technical team, when we're talking business wide and translating the importance and the various steps in order to achieve a certain level of kind of security, how can the CISO translate this into how can a CISO translate this functionality into a language that the wider business, I guess the business as a whole, will understand? How do we get your typical employee who's non-technical to adopt to new security strategies and embrace them, pioneer them?
So again, if we talk about the internal decision makers, right, or internal resources that you have, yeah, it's always a problem. First, we always have starvation for experts, so system have to also handle his manpower as well to improve their capabilities. I think here conferences and hackathons also a great way to do that. I can share with you that we, for example, do all the time webinars for free for Kubernetes security and Amazon security. And one of the customers, even not a customer, just one of this kind of, let's call them lead potential customers, not really matter, that I got a chance to invest in him 20 minutes of just, a talk and get some feedback from them. Ask for help. And we now actually will pass him for free Kubernetes workshop, 1 hour, and he can really leverage it in order to help his team to improve the knowledge on this domain. Second point is, again, on all these ecosystems, CISOs is a big group. I think CISO can use each other's knowledge in order to do this as well. I know that in Israel there were 2 CISOs that actually did it. One asked for help from another that is better expert on cloud. And they did like a merge workshop between 2 companies, and they came to get from them advice about how to deploy stuff, what are the best practices, what are the recommendations we should do, right? I mean, in the end of the day, everything is about knowledge sharing.
So not only kind of sharing the knowledge internally within the company, but you're also kind of encouraging CISOs to talk to one another outside of the companies and collaborate together.
Yeah, and vendors the same. I think, again, we saw it as really effective. If vendor have some knowledge in something, feel free to use them. Why not? I mean, from my point of view, when customer asking for other help, I would love to help them. Even if he won't be my customer, I know that once I help them, I achieved another milestone in my life, is to help someone to improve his security posture.
Yeah.
So it's really common today to do hackathons in, I don't know, Black Hat and stuff, and everybody come, or I don't know, DEF CON. So it's, or in if you go to Reddit, everyone publish information, but it's not common to ask for help from more official enterprise organization. Sounds strange for me. I don't see any problem to do that.